Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, a little bit cloudy outside, so we don't have much of a scene to look at outside on today, which is garbage day in Winnipeg. Garbage truck just went by, we missed it, sorry. Minus 7.7. Not bad. Same as yesterday. Okay, now, I was sitting here a moment ago thinking a couple of things. First of all, I was wondering, why is it I'm getting such a late start? Because I've been up for about 3 hours already. Yeah, literally. And I don't know. Well, I guess I do know. I was doing other things. Yeah. I even cleaned up the kitchen a tiny bit. Okay. Now, the other thing I was thinking of is we are assembling our submarine part here upside down. And I am having such a hard time getting my head around that. You know, when most of the instructions are right side up, and then suddenly you come to something that's upside down, you gotta turn your thinking upside down. Anyway, I was just wondering, am I going to be able to glue this clear plastic part on after? Like, remember, we're sort of waiting until the other glue comes, and also didn't want to accidentally get fingerprints on this stuff, because once you do, you're screwed. I know somebody was saying that you can use toothpaste to polish out scratches and stuff like that. Well, yeah, you can. I've actually experimented with toothpaste about 7 years ago when I did a pen turning series, and it was called The Quest for the Perfect Shine. And one of the things was toothpaste. And I think I did 3 or 4 episodes, not very long ones, on polishing with using toothpaste. And yeah, it kind of works. Now, I don't think that the grit that is in toothpaste is the finest grit that is available. I don't know what it is. I don't remember diluting it down and then looking with a microscope to see what the little grit parts actually look like in comparison to the grit that would be with a grinding compound and stuff like that. But I do know that if you scratch this, it is, at least for me, I have never been able to polish the scratches out, or the fogginess, you might say, of a clear lens like this out, so that you can't tell. Now, there might be a way, maybe possibly reheat it slightly, you know, with a flame across the surface. That might work. I never did try that. I know I've used a blowtorch to remove bubbles off of the top of something if I was to cover something with acrylic, and you know how bubbles form on the top if you're using a 2-part acrylic, that is, and the bubbles will form, and if you use a flame very carefully, you can actually pop the bubbles and have an almost perfect surface. I've done a lot of experimenting with polishing and stuff like that. Down in my workshop, I have a lot of different things for polishing. And I've got a big buffer that I can put on my lathe. You know, it's got buffing wheels like this. And, you know, I've had a bit of experience, in other words. And not bragging or anything like that. It's just that I kind of know what will work and what won't work. More or less. Anyway, so what's going to work here? If we put this part together here, let's just move this here. Maybe what we should do is recompose and get right down here so that everybody can see the manual, and see if we can make a little bit of progress here today. I'm sort of wondering. Oh yeah, I was going to sand this seam smooth here and get rid of this ridge, and afterwards I was realizing that that's going to be on the on the inside, we are not going to see this. As far as I know, anyway. You know what? I should just check and see what are we going to be seeing and what aren't we going to be seeing. You know, quite a bit of the upper hull on this kit is clear. It has to be, so that you know, you can see the detail. However, I do know that parts of the conning tower are not made visible as well as I thought they should have been. In other words, we have to use a mirror to look in from the back. Well, that's kind of funny. And yet, on the other hand, it could be that certain details, you know, certain details that should have been on this part right here, we're just not seeing them. And all the main important details are right here. So, you know, if we had been looking, what I'm trying to say is, if we had been looking through here, there would be nothing on the far wall of interest. So maybe this is the best way to do it. There's got to be a reason why the designers of this kit chose to do it the way they did it. I mean, those guys are way smarter than me, that's for sure. So let's recompose here, and there is some things that we can do without painting yet. Looks like there's a little red. Let's recompose. Okay, I have assembled the outer shell of the conning tower that this piece is going to actually go inside. The deck part that we're working on right now, it is keyed. It's kind of hard to see, and I'm not going to bother zooming in, but there's a little tab right there that has to fit into a little slot right here. And if we it almost locks in, it locks into place. It almost wants to stay there, just a friction fit, but not quite, and I don't want to glue it right now. Then what happens is we take this part, and it goes, we flip it over like this, and it goes inside. Now pretend this piece is fastened in here, okay? It goes inside here. Something like this. Now my tape has come off here, but you get the idea. All right, let's zoom out a little bit here. Then this fits into a slot like that. This piece is going to be like this on the inside of this. And the only way we're going to see the inside is, like I said before, is if we have a mirror in the back here that reflects. Yeah, I've got a mirror here. See if we can make this work. Yeah. Okay, so that's the way we're going to be able to see the inside of the conning tower through the clear side, is with a mirror. Now, I guess what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if we clean up that seam or not. We're not going to see it. But I probably will anyway. Okay, so now we know how this is all going to go for sure. I had a pretty good idea, but I just wanted to make sure, because every once in a while you get fooled in a case like this. And so yeah, and would I be able to, if this was all together, you know, like this, would I be able to glue the, just let me zoom back in again. glue this in afterwards. It looks like I can. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Okay. Yeah, anyway, it looks like I would be able to put this other clear part in afterwards. So I think I could probably go ahead now but of course we have to paint this. You know, I just I just can't get my order of build here organized. This is just going to get rid of the worst of it. As I keep saying, we're not going to see this anyway. It's just that, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing it then, but... Okay, I think once that's all painted, we're not going to notice that the little sanding scratches, and we did get rid of the squeeze out there. This feels fairly even now, more or less. Yeah, I think we're probably ready to paint this now. Hello, Missy. Max is coming. Max is coming. Yeah, don't worry, Max is coming. Let's fix this noisy collar here. There we go. There we go. Hi, Max.
Hey, Ron.
Garbage day. So how's your back feeling today?
Oh, it hurts.
It does, eh?
Yeah, I remember tweaking it last Monday at the gym. I was doing back arches, and I didn't set my back right, so when I push back, I guess I tore a few muscle fibrils just along the middle of the sacrum, you know. I don't know, I'm not going to go to E-gym today. I'm going to have to give it some time to, I think, just let it heal. The inflammation will go down. I might take an anti-inflammatory later. I don't like to take any painkillers anymore because they all tend towards anemia, you know. I might try naproxen just to reduce the swelling, not for the pain, just to reduce the inflammation. Missy, you're such a Missy. You're such a good dog. Isn't Uncle Ron's the best? Uncle Ron's the best. Little black dragon. Yes, I am. He's the best. He's got the best stuff.
And here we go. Time to say goodbye. Thank you for coming again, Missy.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, we'll see you later.
See you later. Missy house? We're ready to go in, are we? Am I being slow?
Bye, Missy.
Is it just a nice, gentle snow falling?
Yeah,
Very
it's
pretty.
It just started.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just can't associate the word and the words nice and snow in the same sentence. It just I know what he means, but Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Now, just before Missy was coming, I was trying to figure out what color we're going to have to paint this. And I believe it's going to be the 338, which is the same as what I did the inside. But the inside of this part right here, it gets painted the 337. Now, if you look at the bottom of these, they're almost the same. The lids are different, but the pigment is this is just only slightly darker, which is all right, I guess. I believe that we're going to be doing a lot of 337 on the upper deck. Anyway, let's try and get ourselves reorganized here. Yeah, I think, should I brush this or spray it? If I spray it, I got to mask it. Whereas if I brush it, I don't have to. And being as that, oh my, I just remembered. We've got to put an LED in this thing, right about here somewhere. I was thinking about that. I think it was really early this morning when I first got up, and I was wondering if maybe if I was to use the really fine wire that I've got, it would be a little bit more invisible, because somehow we're going to have to run the wire. Yeah, the wire is going to have to be run back and down around the back where we're not going to see. And then, I guess onto here somewhere. Yeah, I guess the thing to do would be to leave the wire basically loose where it comes out of the LED. Maybe the extra fine wire is not a good idea, because what will happen is if I accidentally break it, it's so easily broken. Yeah, maybe I'll just use the medium wire. Anyway, I'll eventually get my mind made up here. Okay, I'm guessing about an hour ago now. Saw the Amazon truck pull up in front of the door. Okay, now is this going to work? Yes, it is. And so I met him at the door. Here we go. Now, I'm glad I met him at the door because if I didn't see him coming, he probably would have thrown it into my delivery box outside there. I know it's only -4, but there's a chance that if I didn't know it was there, it's, like I say, there's a chance that it would have froze. I don't know if freezing would hurt this. Somebody said they saw written on it, "Do not freeze." Oh yeah, here it is. Do not freeze. Okay. Well, we didn't freeze it. All right. That ought to last me a long time, at least at the model table. I wonder if it's water resistant. You know, it says clean up with water. I know Tight Bond 3 is waterproof. I actually did a test a few years ago, and it stands up to water pretty good. Okay. Let's forget about our model here for a while and do our test. We were going to do this, the micro crystal clear, and the LePages. Wasn't there a third thing we were going to do? Anyway, I'll just recompose here and yeah, may as well get it done. It won't do it by itself. Now, when I was preparing this slide, I was realizing that it may not be a really good test, and the reason for that is because it is going to be very difficult to get each one of these the same thicknesses. And naturally, if one is a lot more thicker than the other, and you have to look through more of it, it's going to not appear to be as transparent. So we're going to have to sort of go by what it looks like when it's feathered out at the end. Okay, now I guess you've probably already guessed the W stands for weld bond. And I got a feeling that it's probably plugged up in the nozzle there. Yeah, I'm gonna, I just embarrassed myself here. I'm going to have to press stop and clean this up. It's probably hard. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, I wonder how old this thing is. Okay, let's try this again. When I took the cap off, what was on the inside there looked perfectly normal. So I don't think we have anything to worry about here. Now let's try not to make a mess. Okay. And this is the LePages. And the microcrystal clear. And it doesn't want to come out. Maybe the pipette idea is not a good idea. Come on. Okay, we'll just let it run down from the side here. I'd like, if possible, to get an equal amount of each one. It's probably gonna feather out to about the right diameter. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let those dry. And I realize that when we're looking at them through the center, none of them are probably going to be clear. But we'll see what happens on the edge. Maybe what I should do is just sort of feather out a little bit on each one here. Okay, let's throw this pipette out before we make a mess. I know the proper way to do this would be to take another glass slide and just sort of smear it across. Of course, then I'd blend them all together, wouldn't I? Okay, now, okay, we'll do the micro crystal clear, just a little bit out the side here. Okay, that'll smear out. Now we'll get a fresh pipette over here. We'll do the LePages. We don't want to be mixing these together, do we? Okay, and another fresh Gabe swab. Did I say pipette? I meant Gabe swab. And the weld bond. Just feather it out just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Let's let those dry. It's probably going to take a while. One of the viewers made a really good suggestion, and he says take a section of scrap railing and glue it down onto a piece of plastic with the weld bond. And in other words, you'll see how good this stuff is. Yeah, I'm sure it's good as a glue. I'm just wondering how good is it, when it comes to being transparent. So, okay, we'll check that out later. In the meantime, what time we got here? It's 3 minutes after 2 already. No, 3 minutes after 1. Okay, I'm going to get a coffee visitor here at 3:30, so I got to kind of wrap it up. Okay. Right there is where we were supposed to put a light. We're going to be putting an LED to replace it. Now, if you remember, there's a little notch right there. It has to go with that notch, and then, of course, everything else lines up. I think they probably could have done away with having that. Okay, so now, what is going to go here? Maybe the angle's not too good for you, but if we turn this up like this, if I can. Okay, you can see that's going to be the hatch, and so there'll be nothing there. However, see if I can get this back. Now this has got a key on it, and it has to go in this way like this, right there. It's locked in place. That goes like that. So if the LED, okay, forget this piece for a minute. If the LED goes back here, it's not going to be, the light is not going to be blocked by anything. I thought for a while there that maybe there was supposed to be a periscope tube or something go up this hole right here, but it isn't. I don't know if we're going to actually be putting anything there eventually, any kind of a hatch gets glued on there. I think they would have made us do that already if there was. The hatch probably is going to glue onto the top here somehow. That only makes sense. Okay. I think we can probably get away with just having one LED in this thing. For a while there I was thinking maybe we'd have one on each side, but if we put one over here, the light will be blocked by this part right here, which I'm eventually going to break if I keep messing around. Okay, let's get this back in this tuna fish tin here, nice and safe. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe the thing for me to do now is paint this and drill out the hole, or maybe I should drill out the hole first. But we don't have time anymore for today. I'm going to have to call her quits here. I know I'm sounding really undecided, and that's because I want to make sure I don't, as we say, paint ourselves into a corner. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.